Jyväskylän in central Finland is the home of the Rally of the Thousand Lakes, and every August this university town is filled with thousands of rally fans who come to worship their heroes, some more local than others.
We try to go more than 100%, and it's so fast, so quick that you are tired nervously more than another rally.
You nervous now?
Not nervous really, but I cannot say I am relaxed. You know, it's. I think it's only rally where I have to think a little bit about the race. The other one, I just go in the car and start. Here, you know, I was reading the notes again, the first stage, because it's so easy to make a mistake here. You know, you have to be more. So I cannot say I'm relaxed now.
In this event, Michelle Mouton is having her first drive in the new short wheelbase Quattro Sport.
With a long one, when you jump, and you know, it's sure, it's like a very heavy car. With this one, it's a little bit quicker and lighter, and so the reactions are quicker, so we have a little bit more work with the steering.
Michelle's team leader is one of Finland's all-time heroes, Hannu Mikkola, the reigning world champion. He heads a strong Audi team.
Are there any team tactics? You know, there's been all this talk about...
Yeah, too much.
Yes, too much talk?
Yeah.
So it's every man for himself?
Yes, you know, it hasn't been so much last year or the year before, and it's not this time either.
Last year's Thousand Lakes is one that Audi will remember with mixed feelings.
Now we have no more water. Very hard burning. Yes, it was quite impossible to start the fire.
A minor fault caused Michelle's car to catch fire, and Hannu's team captaincy was strained to the full.
Can you still drive, Michelle?
Yes.
Drive it in the lake or somewhere, it will, you know, you can't do anything else.
If I start and if it's burning again, I cannot stop the fire.
Aha, you are stopped and the fire is stopped.
Yes, sure, it was burning like hell. 3 kilometers after the start.
Aha.
Then suddenly, Hannu had problems of his own.
Ignition on. Yeah, it is on all the time. It's on. Yes. What is it? Kind. Okay. But why it's like this? Kind benzene. It's going down. You know. But
When you've just taken the lead and the end of the rally is almost in sight, the last thing you want is the problem of falling fuel pressure, especially when you're running out of service time.
switchen är on. Ja, de är on. No, out! What is it now? Standing.
We're not out of time yet, but it's a long way to go. So now it's a little bit doubtful if we can be in time on this road section.
It's at times like this that the pressures modern-day rally drivers have to cope with are amply demonstrated. Despite that last-minute drama, Hannu and co-driver Arne Hertz just made it to the next time control with seconds to spare, and then went on to win the rally. Hopefully there will be no such dramas this year, and before the start there's time for a little relaxation with the rally stars of the future. In Finland, every kid wants to be a rally driver, and their heroes are worshipped everywhere, even at service points in the middle of the night, miles from anywhere.
Suurimmalta osaltahan se on kova. Semmoista meni aika kova se. Ei mene aina.
Making a welcome return to World Championship rallying, driving a Nissan, is Pentti Arikala. Mikkola has won this event no fewer than 7 times, and this year he's on a hat-trick. However, he faces tough opposition from many of his fellow Finns, including Ari Vatanen in the new Peugeot 205 Turbo, and the Lanciers of Markku Alén and Henri Toivonen.
It must be every Finn's ambition to win his home rally.
Well, I suppose for everybody else it's to win, and for me it's a big ambition to finish this rally, because it's been 7 bad years now. So to finish and to be on the top 3, then I'm more than satisfied.
Do you think you have a good chance of doing that, of achieving that?
Well, I have the best car I ever had here, and normally I've been always on the 3rd place when I retired, so I'm very optimistic for it.
It's probably more or less the best in the world. It's really fast, and there's a lot of Finns here that really drive quick, so we thought we'd come and have a go and see if we can get in there.
How did the prospect of all these jumps, you know?
Oh, well, that's the problem, because we're only allowed to practice at sort of 80 kilometres an hour, and now we're going to be doing sort of 150 kilometres an hour. So I'm afraid on the first stage, that's something we're going to have to find out.
After weeks of reconnaissance, making pace notes and committing the route to memory, 300 of the quickest and most daunting competitive miles in World Championship rallying lie ahead. After 5 special stages, Markku Alén has driven brilliantly in his Lancia to open up a lead of 10 seconds over Vatanen. Despite their immense power, the Audi Quattros have been surprisingly off the pace, with Hannu Mikkola being quickest of the 3 in 3rd place, ahead of Stig Blomqvist, who's been troubled by a misfiring engine. Ari Vatanen has made a comparatively steady start, but as darkness falls, he's beginning to turn on the tap. His remarkable new 4-wheel drive Peugeot 205 Turbo starts setting steadily quicker and quicker times as the suspension is set up more firmly. At the service halt at Jämsä, southwest of Jyväskylän, mechanics await the arrival of the cars. Vatanen, co-driven by Irishman Terry Harriman, appears first, having applied enough pressure to take the lead from Alén by just 1 second. Alén is understandably frustrated by the new challenger on the World Rally scene. His flat-out driving has obviously not been enough. In contrast, Vatanen is calm and relaxed.
I made a mistake there. It was so soft. 16. Yes, and it was too wide, but it doesn't matter.
On only its 3rd outing, the little Peugeot is demonstrating the promise that has been apparent since its World Championship debut in Corsica earlier in the year.
Harry, what's the situation now?
Leading by 1 second.
Very good.
Nice. I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No, usually you say like that.
Well, I wasn't sure. That is confirmed there.
Yes. That's right. Okay, well.
What has changed then to make you be able to match Markku's pace now?
Well, in my case, I think just I'm just heating up slowly. You know, Markku is in Italian, so he heats up very quickly.
I am only, in spin, and I'm stopping. I don't know, I pay maybe 10-15 seconds.
Is any damage to the car?
No, only I touch, I go too fast and after spin. and I come opposite way, and after a turn.
Have you lost your lead then?
I don't know, maybe no, but hard, you know, you fight with 4 wheel car and that car. Now it's also a little bit wet in road, you know. Not so easy, not so easy.
I couldn't quite match the pace of Markku to start with, but now later on, I mean, I have equaled his pace and even a little bit faster. But what has been a surprise to the Audis that they haven't been quite up to expectations.
It's as much a surprise to others as it is to Vatanen, because the Quattros certainly look to be going quickly, and Mikkola and Blomqvist are trying everything they know. However, the lightweight, nimble Peugeot is obviously making highly efficient use of its horsepower and its chassis, and only Marco Allen's supercharged Lancia is really in the same race. Henry Toivonen is supporting Allen splendidly in 4th place ahead of Per Eklund in his privately entered Quattro. Rising Finnish hero Juha Kankkunen is driving spectacularly in his Toyota Celica Turbo ahead of their Japanese competition headed by Arikkala's Nissan. Another Nissan is driven by Thousand Lakes specialist Erkki Pitkänen. While another up-and-coming Finn, Michael Sundström, flies a Fiat Ritmo. On special stage 14, the rally claims its first victim, Michel Mouton.
It was a very quick left and right over brow, and over brow the car was very, very light, and it started to slide. And I just thought the car will spin, you know, and unfortunately the road was very narrow, and we touched something when we start to spin, and we spun, but we roll also twice. And after, okay, we went out of the stage, and we repaired, but it was very long to repair because all the back was damaged, both sides, so it needed long time, and we were 9 minutes too late for the time control, so we were out.
The Audi Quattros of Hannu Mikkola and Stig Blomqvist are lying 3rd and 4th behind Allen, who's had his share of problems.
Gearbox is blocked in the stones.
Oh, dear.
And I off in the road.
You see that stone there, Bob?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it came up from underneath into the gearbox.
Yeah, and he blocked, you know, all this.
Jammed the linkage.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
And I'm not fine in 2nd gear. I come in 4, but after it's blocked, and I'm a little bit off in the road.
Michel Mouton joins the throng of spectators at the start of the 2nd leg, the traditional special stage around the streets of Jyväskylän. By Thousand Lakes standards, Ari Vatanen's lead of 1 minute 13 seconds at the start of this leg is enormous, and with a long southern loop to come, mainly on soft sandy soil, his 4-wheel drive advantage will be even more pronounced. Mikkola starts the leg in a secure 3rd place ahead of teammate Blomqvist. Stig is driving the only long wheelbase A2 model Quattro in the works team. Toivonen, having overcome various supercharger problems, is now 5th, ahead of Kankkunen's Toyota, which in turn is locked in a desperate struggle with Eklund's Quattro. It's a very personal battle, as Eklund has lost his place in the Toyota team to Kankkunen. Arikkala's Nissan is 10th, the Finn showing well despite a lack of match practice. And only seconds separate Arikkala from teammate Pitkänen on his 2nd major rally of the season. With 30 special stages and 170 competitive miles still in store, there's everything to play for as the cars leave Jyväskylä and head south towards Jämsä, the forests and the lakes. As the rally reaches its climax, Ari Vatanen is in total control. The 1981 world champion is making a sensational comeback to form in a remarkable new car that matches his talent to perfection. A hero has returned. Even Markku Alén, at his brilliant best, can't keep Vatanen in sight, but his inspired driving is taking him further and further away from the Audi Quattros. In his attempt to keep up with Alén, Ricola is about to push just that little too much and dramatically crash out of the rally, leaving Blomqvist as the sole remaining factory Quattro driver. But even Blomqvist's inherited third place is far from secure. In yet another of this epic rally's heroic drives, Henri Toivonen is catching Blomqvist hand over fist. A private battle between Eklund and Kankkunen is being left far behind and is about to be resolved in the young Finn's favour. On special stage 35, Kankkunen, co-driven by Britain's Fred Gallagher, catches and passes Eklund. Kankkunen's Toyota teammate Bjorn Waldegaard has been left even further behind and is about to retire with engine failure. Ricola is also about to succumb to a broken gearbox. And suddenly Toivonen's splendid charge receives a setback. In the failing light, he arrives at the service point at Tampere, and the Italian mechanics descend on the car to investigate what's wrong.
Henry, what was the problem?
Must be the shock absorber which is broken, because the car is completely sideways to the left, on the left corners, and impossible to drive. So we slowed down the last one.
This is the ambitious young Finn's third ever drive for the prestigious Lancia team since he signed for them at the beginning of the season. His two earlier outings in Portugal and Greece both ended in disastrous accidents, so Toivonen is desperately anxious to erase the memory and re-establish himself as a mature driver in the eyes of his illustrious team manager, Cesare Fiorio.
It's not special pump in this road. We have...
Down the road at the Nissan camp, British team manager Bob Freeborough supervises work on his two charges, driven by local hero Peter Gertl and rising British star Terry Cady.
We had a problem 2 stages back when the gearbox stuck in 4th gear. So we had to do the rest of that stage stuck in 4th gear, and it was a really fast stage. So we lost quite a bit of time. But the lads managed to change it in about 14 minutes, which was good. But the problem was we had planned to do a routine strut change there, so now they're having to do that now, and they don't have as much time to do that as they'd planned to do it in. So. But I think they'll get it done okay, so I hope so anyway.
On his first ever visit to this difficult event, the fastest European rally in the World Championship, young Toaster-based KB has had a splendid drive despite various mechanical setbacks and lies in a well-deserved 12th place as dusk falls on the final night. Sunday morning, and it's now routine for Vatanen. His lead of 2 minutes, one of the largest ever on this rally, is being comfortably maintained. The Peugeot on its way to its first World Championship win. Alén's desperate struggle with an increasingly outmoded 2-wheel drive car has been in vain, but nevertheless, he finishes an excellent second. Toivonen's problems have been eradicated, and he finishes a delighted third, having overtaken Blomqvist during the night, the Swede finishing the rally with only 2-wheel drive. Juha Kankkunen and Fred Gallagher bring their powerful Toyota Celica Turbo home in 5th place, having held off a determined fight back by Per Eklund and Dave Whittock in their Audi Quattro. First Nissan driver home is Erkki Pitkonen in 7th place. And Terry KB, partnered by Kevin Gormley, is delighted to finish in 12th place on his first 1,000 Lakes rally. As the cars return to Jyväskylän at the end of this tough 1,300-kilometre event, Ari Vatanen, co-driven by Ireland's Terry Harriman, has re-established himself at the top of rallying's World Championship ladder.
We didn't have any problems at all, so it was trouble-free run. And car was very good indeed, and it is very good, and so I'm sure that car will have a bright future.
The last time I finished this rally was 77, so I've been putting the cars upside down, and they've been braking, and so it took 7 years to get it.
Henry Toivonen's youngster may have dropped the bottle, but there's no fear that Terry Harriman will let go of his, as he celebrates with Peugeot team manager Jean Todt this impressive victory. And by finishing fourth, Stig Blomqvist, co-driven by fellow Swede Bjorn Cederberg, wins the 1984 Manufacturers' Championship for Audi. 2 months later, as a result of his victory in the Ivory Coast, to add to his wins in Sweden, Greece, New Zealand and Argentina, Stig became the 1984 World Rally Champion.
The feeling to drive these cars nowadays, especially when it's dark, it's like looking in the video game and just trying to avoid the accidents. It's quite an amazing feeling. Cars are going so fast. Acceleration is such incredible. Every bend will be the limit. In future, we can use 600-700 horsepower. I don't mean the car is going faster into low speed, but when we go up to 150, 160, there it means extra 100, 200 horsepower is quite.
Peugeot, here with their number 3 Salonen, have substituted the injured Ari Vatanen by Karl Grundel. Vatanen won last year's 1000 Lakes Rally, but Salonen had done the same 4 times before. Now Salonen has a chance to become world champion in his own country, which would be the crown on a very successful season. Salonen drives a new Peugeot Evolution 2, complete with formidable spoilers. Stig Blomqvist and Hannu Mikkola presented their aggressive-looking Sport Quattro S1 at the start. For Blomqvist, this was a last chance to keep Salonen from success. He drove his car to the farthest limits. Together with navigator Björn Cederberg, he won 16 special stages. first time since the Tour de Corse, Lancia appeared at the start with a relatively old 0.37. After the first leg, Alain had taken the lead 7 seconds ahead of Salonen and 19 seconds ahead of Blomqvist. Mikula was 4th and Kankunen 5th.
Like yesterday afternoon start in Jyväskylän, now in very hard and very difficult for me.
Weather with rain?
Yes, that's incredible, yeah.
Yes. Why?
I don't know, sun. That's a Finnish sun is something, you know, in change, but it's coming like in yesterday in Saturday in afternoon, you know, it's too much sun maybe. And after it's coming too many gravel in road.
So what can you do now?
Go, and I hope I am third.
Marco Allen. Salonen drove a sensible race, refused to be rushed, and soon took the lead before Blomqvist and Alain.
What problems
Timo
do you
Salonen.
have?
Nothing really, not really problems.
How do you feel now? Tired?
Yes, sure, tired. This is quite hard rally.
What about Seppo?
He is finished already. Sleeping.
Ja me pyrimme tulospalvelua pitämään täällä. Meillä on myöskin puhelinyhteys tuonne Laajavuoren lehdistökeskukseen.
Salonen won 20 special stages, kept a modest lead, but won the 1000 Lakes Rally for the 5th time, and this was perhaps the most important one. The lead, finally, was only 48 seconds. Salonen could claim first place before Stig Blomqvist, and through this victory, Salonen could no longer be threatened for the overall result, and so he was the world champion of 1985. And in his own country too, the champagne could be uncorked. Had Audi and Lancia definitely been defeated? And for how long?
Blomqvist's special trick. Can anyone doubt the strength of the cage construction now? He's been very warm. It's murder on your hairstyle, but it's Salonen who needs the comb. In order to resist Lancia, and especially Alain, who has won this event 4 times before, Peugeot enter their 2 Finns plus Blomqvist. Isn't that Ari Vatanen? He looks to be in great form. Is he preparing a comeback?
I cannot commit myself because I don't know how long it's going to take before I find my previous driving speed. Maybe it takes half a year, maybe it takes less, I don't know. But at least I'm optimistic, and I want to come back, so that's very important.
It is impossible for Blomqvist to interfere with the struggle of the Finns. All or nothing is really Allen's slogan. From the very start, he has been launching his attacks, and that has not gone unnoticed. Only Salonen and Kankkunen will be able to react adequately to the great Allen's attacks. Really the man of the Thousand Lakes Rally, a title that, in the eyes of any Finnish competitor, surpasses all others. Only a brief appearance by Carlson and his Mazda. During the 3rd special stage, his engine went. Tut, logical as ever. The Finns are doing very well in their own rally. Only 8 seconds separates the top 3, and after them, Blomqvist. And just for once, a smile on the face of Markku Alén. For 2 days, I have launched attack after attack. The Lancer is doing well. Everything is just fine. Until, towards the end, he misses a turn and has to yield leading position to Salonen, who was only slightly behind. He is now in the lead overall. His 2nd successive victory in Finland is within the driving distance now. Salonen has said goodbye to all the little mishaps that have been haunting him since the beginning of the season. It's a different matter for Alén, but what could he do against the Peugeots that were continually breathing down his neck? Grundell, who had also become available after Ford's withdrawal, driving the 3rd Works Lancia without any problems. It is only a year ago that Salonen climbed highest on the winner's rostrum. And for the 2nd consecutive year, Peugeot secured the World Championship title for Works cars.
Allen, Kankkunen and Biasian for Lancia. We're familiar with that. But who were their competitors? Ford were there with Stig Blomqvist and Ari Vatanen. Mazda were there with Salonen, Audi and Mikkola. The first special stages were hit by torrential rain. Mikola drove into a tree. Kankkunen had a minor crash, but he could continue the race. The Swede in a Mitsubishi Strayan. Marco Allen immediately took the lead. Vatanen was doing well in his Ford, and Blomqvist was enjoying himself enormously. Kankkunen hit a stone and lost too much time. He had to finish this stage on 3 wheels.
Ei me menty minnekään kiveen, kun se meni ihan, mä luulen, että se meni hypystä, repesi takaosa tuosta triangelista takaa niin kuin poikki.
Kiveen, kun mä menin ihan kiveen, mulla on etupää kaikki soujana.
Alain driving aggressively as usual, and fortune was clearly on his side. Best private driver in Finland, Per Eklund in an Audi Coupe Quattro. Happy faces in the Ford stables. Things were going well. The old and the new driver, Blomqvist and Vatanen. Too eager, but it takes more to beat Vatanen. Eklund. Allen. Ford are satisfied. A final sprint for Alain. So, first place for Alain, second place for Vatanen, Blomqvist third, Eklund fourth, and Kankunen fifth. The overall placements after 3/4 of the struggle for the World Championship.
Thank you.